It's working. Welcome everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Hamid Bouazaoui. I'm the go-to-market lead applied intelligence based out of the Netherlands for Accenture. And before I continue with the introduction, we have instructions on how to follow and continue with us looking at the slides. It's in Menti. If you just enter the code, you'll be able to follow everything and follow us in the journey using this Menti link. So, as I said, I look after the applied intelligence go-to-market side of things, which basically means, from an Accenture perspective, I look at the demand and the wish of our clients, mainly within financial services, but also I tap into different industries. And then I look into how we can connect that industry wish and demand to our offerings, basically, right? And offerings, just for you, from a capability perspective, that means it varies from cloud infrastructure strategy to intelligent automation, visualization development, and last but not least, is our data science capability, which is a hot topic in the broadest sense, right? And it's something that we'll tap into quite a bit today in this workshop. Hopefully it will be a pleasant and engaging workshop. So yeah, most of our clients nowadays, when we speak to them, when we engage with them, is they're looking into this journey of becoming data-driven or becoming data-led transformations or pursuing data-led transformations, rather. And in doing that, we see that they don't want to do it compartmentalized or do it fragmented. They want to do it end-to-end, right? So there's the end-to-end data transformation that they're looking into. And hence, logic only dictates that from Accenture we try to match that from our commodity or from our offering perspective. So that's it. And before I continue with the rest, I'll give the stage to Rohit to introduce himself.
Thanks, Amit. Hi guys, this is Rohit Kumbhar. I'm leading few of the pre-built AI solutions for Europe, and we'll talk about them in a bit. But this is the first time I've been on stage last 11 years, so bit nervous. So I'll step down a little bit till Hamid speaks, and then be with you guys. So I'll hand over back to you, Hamid.
Yeah, thanks. I already mentioned we're going to be talking about data science, right? So if you look at the title of this workshop, pre-built, pre-integrated, deploying pre-built, pre-integrated data models using cross-industry data sets. Quite broad, right? You might think, what does that exactly mean? So I'll start with just a little bit of talking about data-led transformations in the industry and then how we see that from a maturity model perspective. And then we basically move more into the data science bit. I'll start with a use case around how we've helped the state of California with mitigating and basically reducing wildfires in specific areas around San Diego and some other regions. We helped the utility company there. And then we'll take over with Rohit and go into the processing side of things. So he'll go through the more the solution as a product. So that's that. And then eventually we want to have this engaging session using Mentimeter where we'll ask you a few questions and how do you relate to basically the content that we've shared with you. How do you see that within your organization visible? Yes, no, and just have this engagement and networking session here all together. So data-led transformation, right? So data-led transformation, as far as Accenture is concerned, is when organizations try to adopt fact-based and intelligent decision-making. And this is, again, bird's eye view, high level. What is the overall benefits and advantages that you can gain from trying to become this data-led transformation company? I think, first of all, you'll enable, if utopian-wise everything goes well, it's part of your strategy, there's change management involved, cross-departmental people are adopting or adapting this vision. You'll see that gradually and swiftly you'll find your organization being more healthy when it comes to financial performance, being better and more able to have operational excellence or to achieve operational excellence. You'll be maybe even better in decision making when it comes to externally, right? Powering new revenue streams, engaging with clients, etc. And you know what's out there in the industry. But more importantly, and I think this is a bit a hot topic again, but it's also something that I think nowadays using data is not only to add your value from an ROI perspective or measure how we're doing here and there within the organization. I think what impact can we actually have on the globe, on the planet, meaning sustainability, climate, society even. The medical world is dying for more solutions coming from our data realm, right? So I think that's the overall aim, and I think that's how we see it from Accenture. There are some organizations that are very far ahead in this journey, and some aren't. Some are struggling and really encountering some challenges that are not easily fixed due to regulation, due to whatever reason out there. So what does that look, how does that look from a maturity model perspective? I think oftentimes when we speak to our clients, we notice that either it's on the left side of the spectrum where they say, listen, we don't have our backend up to par, up to standard. We don't have a cloud infrastructure. We don't have the right service provider that can help us with that. Security issues. We see a lot of roadblocks when it comes to our data governance side of things, and we're struggling there. So don't come to me and talk to me about innovation and digitalization and how we can monetize our data, basically. And I think that's interesting because on the other hand, you have companies, and again, this is not a slide to be seen as a journey. You go from zero to hero. I think this is more a measurement tool, and I'll tell you why in a sec. So as I said, there are some companies that have more this offense strategy mechanism within their company, where they say, okay, we want to achieve operational excellence, we want to power new revenue streams, and we have a business that's growing, and we need to have our data help us grow. I could easily be talking to a CDO and look at this slide, and based on the input I collect on all the hurdles, roadblocks that they're facing, and the challenges that they're trying to do, and I can just simply go past every single vertical of this slide and just say and mark where they are from 0 to 10, right? And I would humbly argue that oftentimes we have it spot on based on the input that we get from our clients. So I think this is why I wanted to touch on this, and just overall how we view data. And it can unlock a lot of value if the more mature you become in data-drivenness, the better and the more value you'll be able to unlock as an organization. Right, data-driven reliability in a changing climate. A couple of weeks ago, one of my internal client account leads reached out to me for a potential opportunity that we could capitalize on. Turns out to be a large established Dutch insurance firm that is looking into ways to utilize data science to basically enable better and more accurate, profound determination of risk. Why? In order to mitigate and reduce wildfires, or say not wildfires because that's California, but fires and just hazards around burn and fire within specific sectors. So agriculture, catering services, wood and metal manufacturers, and being part of Accenture, 500,000 people globally, worldwide. First thing you do is you look around. Is this something we've done in the past? And lo and behold, my lovely colleague based out of California contacts me and say, hey, this is something we've done in a slightly different setting, but I'm pretty sure that the substance and how we've done it, the process, can be really befitting to this endeavor that you're about to embark on. So I said, oh, great. So I contacted the right individuals responsible for this project, and it turns out to be that we all know western side of the United States, especially mainly California, is being tortured with a lot of wildfires. So many factors of these wildfires can be nature-based, right? So you have a drought, you have type of tree that catch more flame than other types of tree. You have so a lot of elements that play a role in this. But a few components that play a role in this are to do with the way utility companies, and this is a major utility company in the US, the way they place their assets, the way they do their day-to-day operations remotely. So basically what we did, we partnered with this specific giant client, major utility client, and we said, what we're going to be doing is we're going to build a data-driven solution that will help modernize your method of doing asset maintenance and basically improve your reliability in a changing landscape. So we came up with this amazing cloud-enabled solution that, and this is something that gives me a lot of energy, but it basically feeds images from remote monitoring systems, customized sensors, detectors, and basically feeds it into our image automation solution, which is an Accenture built for rapid implementation, easy to scale. And then another thing, it was befitting the whole agile way of working which they wished to do or what they wanted to do. So basically, this is a solution that it's complex, but at the same time very easy. So it combines machine learning with a form of artificial intelligence, computer vision, and advanced analytics, and it basically detects and scans millions of digital images in a very fast way. It then, so utility company think of poles, wires, insulators, chips, all of these assets that they use that can be a potential risk for wildfires. So basically it scans all these images once they're fed in, and then it classifies them into healthy or damaged. Now, healthy means continue monitoring and just do what we're doing. Damaged means this is a potential fire risk, right? So again, so it can be a pole, an electric pole that has a hole on top, which can be, save water and can cause problems in a lot of angles. Obviously, there are a few things that we can't help, right? So some things are just being dealt with post-mortem. You can send a fireman before the fire is there, but I don't think he won't be able to help. So these things are the things that we can manage. And I think this is what AI is all about, as far as I'm concerned, is that when AI meets human and ingenuity, I think that's what makes AI more powerful and I think that's what makes AI, as far as I'm concerned, the best thing. So just think about it, right? We can have hardware supply in a specific area. By the way, we've done this with images, but we've also done this with satellite imagery. We've done this with, we collect all sorts of information, satellite imagery, drone footage, all of this stuff that can help us creating the right data sets to apply our data science models. We basically collect that. We use SDI tooling to get it into a centralized data repository. And again, we convert it into Azure, for instance, right, just to name a service provider. And then based off of that, we basically apply specific models to get the right patterns and behaviors that we then offer our client. So again, AI, as far as I'm concerned, can play a bigger role in improving, enhancing our day-to-day life, but also help the planet in the broadest sense. And this is one of the examples. I would love to, this was my part, I would love to give Rohit the stage now.
Any questions, guys? Any questions, thoughts, remarks for Hamid?
Oh, that's
anybody in the crowd?
Yeah, it's supposed to be an interactive session. You're right. Any questions? Okay, great.
It's fine. We'll have more questions for you, so let's do it that way, right? So solutions.ai. So solutions.ai is an attempt towards what Hamid mentioned. It's an attempt to give the clients a pre-built set of solutions, pre-built set of models, pre-built set of problem solvers in a way, so that they can achieve whatever they want to achieve much faster, much better way, much smoother, and so on and so forth. What we have when we say solutions.ai is a brand umbrella that we have created roughly 3 years ago. Whereas the solutions that we have here have been built over last 8 to 10 years. The underlying principle, ideology was very simple. We need to have, speed to value. If we want to derive, if we want to give the value from AI towards our client, it needs to have speed. They can't wait. Every client has to deal with n number of problems, and then they can't wait. The speed is essential. Speed to value is most important. The rapid transformation. The solutions that we have here should be actually transforming the business. So we don't want some cool solutions which can make somebody smile over a phone call or over a demo. We want to have these solutions to transform their problems, to transform their business, to transform their lives. And third one was the flexibility. So most of these solutions that we have here are fully customizable, meaning that there are two types of customizability. One is the deployment and adaptation customizability, where each of the solution can be deployed on-prem, it's container-based, it can be cloud, it can be on Accenture Cloud, and so on and so forth. Whatever is the strategy of the client, these solutions can be fitting to their customization. And second customization is around the IP and the data. So when we talk about the solutions coming with pre-built patents, coming with pre-built models and so on, we put enough customization on top based on client's data and essentially have the problem solved, but also have the client retain the IP of the overall new solution that comes out of it. And this is what our clients kept saying, that we want speed to value, we want client first flexibility, and then we want the rapid innovation, essentially delivering on the promise of artificial intelligence or applied intelligence as he mentioned. What we have a bit salesy slide, but essentially this is what we have been doing in terms of the innovation. That's most important. So there are of course lots of deployment and there are lots of clients and so on and so forth. But most important for Accenture, most important thing from our clients is the speed. 2 to 3 times more speed to deliver these AI solutions to solve the problems, and that's where we are striving. That's what is our attempt. Maybe take it to 4 or 5 times in next 18 months. That's our target. What do we have? We have n number of solutions here, and what we'll be talking about today is processing. But we also have few specific solutions that are industry specific or client specific around marketing, pricing, skilling, retail, supply chain, and so on and so forth. Why processing? What we see is the processes that are performed by our clients' employees, that are performed by you and me day in and day out, are the largest area for transformation. We are working on n number of things starting at 8 in the morning and sometimes ending at 8 in the night. There is n number of things, a lot of work that people are performing, which at the end is converting into a revenue, happier employees, happier customers, and so on and so forth. That's why we name it processing. So any process that you are performing in your organization, we try to apply AI towards that. And that's what also I do, and that's why I'm here, so I will be presenting processing, right? Just to touch base on processing in a way, what we are doing, we are focused on the productivity. Productivity enabled by artificial intelligence, productivity enabled by our solutions, and productivity is of course linked to also the accuracy and the efficiency. So personally, I come from process consulting, process automation, intelligent automation type of background, and that's what we really focus on. How can our AI solutions can boost this productivity by 2 or 3 times rather than 2 or 3%, and deliver that particular value. What do we have here? Now let's talk concrete, right? Let's talk the solutions, because that's why we are here for. We want to hear from you. We want to discuss with you. We have 3 solutions. One is about process discovery. One is about document automation. Third is about image automation, which Hamid touched a little bit. And essentially all these 3 solutions, we have roughly 150 plus patents that are already there, and then roughly 60 patents pending. And then in order to deployments, we have done roughly 200 so far. And I'll go into each of the solutions in a bit, but now it's time to do some interaction, right? So this is the first question for you. Yeah. Do you think that your organization, your client's organization, or for example, your university for the students, do you think that your management has a complete idea about what people are doing day in and day out, start to end, throughout their day, and how can you improve that? Is that existing? Does your management know about these processes? And let's see what the poll says. I'll just revise. You need to go to menti.com and use the code 52554568, and then you'll be able to answer the questions now, but also follow the presentation in coming moments. So I see the response is mixed, which is good, that most of the clients are aware, but of course many of them are not, about what's happening on the ground day in and day out in their real life, and how can that be improved. I see 43 inputs, so thanks for that. Why we ask this question, right? The answer from, let's say, 90% of the clients is no. We don't know. We don't know what our people are working on. We don't know what steps do they take. We don't know how they feel while performing a particular process or the activity. That's where the visual process discovery comes in. So visual process discovery is a task mining / data mining process discovery tool that helps your organization to uncover the potential about your processes. What that means is when you are trying to do any kind of transformation project, you do process transformation, Lean Six Sigma, you do process automation, you do applications transformation, you do workflow transformation, and so on and so forth. For doing that, you need to have a clear-cut idea how the work is being performed now. If you don't know how the work is performed now, the steps, the variances, the exceptions, the use cases, you can't really transform into something new. And you need an excellent baseline to have that improvement performed, you have that particular transformation performed. And that's what visual process discovery does. It gathers the data from every single individual that is performing on X or Y process, and then essentially converts that into an insight, which you can essentially drive that, okay, there are 15 people working on process A, and then out of those 15 people, they are dealing with 150 variances, which could be potentially automated, which could be potentially enabled with AI, like document automation or so on and so forth. What happens in VPD is you do the process recording, you derive the process insights, and then out of that, you derive essentially where can I improve, which step can be improved, which step can be automated, which step can be enabled with AI, and so on and so forth. Now, you won't be seeing any demo here. The reason is we don't want to, let's say, revolve around thought process for this workshop around a demo. For demo, we would have actually a booth here, so you're welcome throughout the day to see the demo. My colleague Brian and Raza and Nam are there to help you with the demos and showcase, and you can actually play with it. So that's something we can certainly do. But essentially, the objective of VPD or visual process discovery is help uncover the insights about the processes, and then you transform that with the right technology. Time for Menti. Do you think your organization or your university or your clients do have such solutions that are being used to transform the processes and the work that they are performing?
I would say what we're going to see is this revolution, we're going to see a whole new place open up because previously we shied away from it.
Then, of course, this technology is quite similar to what you might have heard, UiPath, task mining, Salonis, process mining, and so on and so forth. But I think many of the clients also seek something new, and then this is the attempt from Accenture to bring something new, bring something small that you can essentially tactically also use, rather than a strategic tool each time where individual teams have smaller budgets and smaller projects where this particular solution could be used. I see the response again. It's quite aligned with what we also hear from our clients most of the times, that they would love to have such solution which can be implemented in a few days, and usually the POC lasts for like 8 working days for one process, and then that's the usually scale that the clients want to achieve. So thanks for that input. What we are doing with VPD is more value. Yeah. At a fraction of the cost. So that's where I mentioned that some external vendors that we also work with would have some larger costs, larger strategic initiatives, but let's say 70 to 80% of the organizations are not there yet to strategically think about whole departmental transformation, and that's where such smaller tools like task mining would be essentially helpful. And then the time, as I mentioned, 7 to 8 working days in which you can actually drive the full insights about process, and you can decide on ninth or 10th day that how I am going to improve this process. So that's where the VPD plays the role. We have some case studies, but we would really love to talk about case studies when we see you in the booth, or maybe in a few minutes. Any questions so far from the audience about VPD or in general task mining? Or any thoughts, any challenge?
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if there are no questions, maybe someone can
So
shed some light. There it is.
So basically, you need data to feed all these models, but if the company is not able to extract data, do you implement sensors or infrastructure?
Yeah. So this is where the simplicity comes in. The process that is performed by any employee as of today, they just need to add 2 clicks in their daily life. That is start recording and stop recording. What VPD does is it generates the input through the employee, and it puts into the cloud and into our software, and then essentially we generate the insights from there. So you do not have to implement any complex data engineering, integration of the systems, collection of the logs, nothing of that sort. You give the power to the employee, they say start recording, they say stop recording, and our tool does the rest of it.
Aside from this question, I think maybe if someone, the ones that actually see this rapidly built or implemented solution that is scalable, if you already have this kind of implemented or incorporated within your business, maybe someone can shed some light on how that functions and what are the values and the gains that you have in comparison, cross-examined against the classic operating model of having 6, 7 people working on something.
Yeah. How do you compare it with the digital process automation from TIBCO? What will be the differences?
From IFCO?
Yeah, TIBCO.
TIBCO.
Digital process automation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So process automation essentially is the next step. Yeah. So you generate the insight about process, you define the pain points, you define the business value that will be achieved from process automation, and then you implement process automation. So our tool, we don't really claim that our tool does the automation, no. We just provide the insights and analytics and a capability and the data to make sure that our clients are enabled to do the process automation. Our tool doesn't do the process automation, so it will be the next step.
So after you do the insights, then you need to use another software.
Correct. Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Because certain process workflows, they go cross functions, and sometimes it goes outside my premise, my factory, and external stakeholders. For example, if you take life sciences, we deal with all external stakeholders, right? And how do you see this platform or tool you're building it will help in such situations?
Yeah, fair question. I'll just repeat his question. The question is, how can you combine the processes that are going cross functions or even to the clients? So that's one of the capability this tool brings. You can actually combine different instances of different processes together to create the end-to-end flow. It won't be in a single click like we do for other processes. We need to do some engineering on that, but that's what we also do with some other clients, for example, banks or government, where there are multiple departments, sub-departments, business units, they are dealing with the processes end-to-end, and we bring them together with this tool. We reduce the subjectivity rather, because we get all the instances that are happening with the processes end-to-end, and we try to map them together. Yeah. Okay. So next question, in the interest of time, is a kind of word cloud we'll try to create. Is we want to learn from you, we want to listen to you and see where do you think such solution can be implemented, where do you think such solution can be helpful. It could be a process, it could be a department, it could be a business unit. So it's a free text question for you. So we'll see some nice word cloud appearing based on the inputs that you share. So yeah, looking forward to your thoughts. HR, yes, that's one of the strongest area that could help recruitment. Yes, for sure. Finance, category management, interesting. Yeah. Logistics, for sure. Excellent. Logistics
Yep.
is where we struggle a lot because there are end-to-end supply chain related processes. Room allocation, excellent. That's one complex process. I always struggle to get a room in our Accenture office, and then I end up grabbing someone else's. And we need some good process there. Customer operation, excellent. Customer operations, just to say there. N number of systems, right? So CRM operators, customer center operators, they're using like 10, 15 systems at the moment to deal with client information. And this tool is actually helping, to deal with their problems and, improve their processes day by day. So excellent inputs. Thank you. Somebody says, hi, Mom.
Hi, son, even. I'm really curious who said recruitment, actually, because you have quite some models that were positioned within recruitment realms,
Yeah.
especially on classifying profiles and matching profiles to specific output. I think that's a key one.
And looking for more inputs as well. I think just 14 inputs have been there, so I think you can do 2 inputs per person. So yeah, I think looking forward for.
I think that's the one. The hi son and hi mom is from one person. I think.
What kind of data psychometrics you use to match?
Sorry.
So he mentions that he was using for recruiting.
Yeah, we've applied it.
So what
Yeah.
kind of data?
Okay. So from recruitment perspective, the data goes into 2 fronts. It's actually another solution called a skills.ai. So we get the skills ontology on what is needed within the organization, where the organization is heading to. We get the open source data as well with benchmarking institutes, and then we try to map that data with individuals coming with the CVs, their job history, and so on and so forth. So that's not really part of this solution, but essentially what he mentioned, Hamid, is we understand how the recruiter is working in the VPD. So if the user is using LinkedIn, if the user is using, Indeed in the Netherlands, if they're using any other application, how can we try to correlate that data end to end, and how can we improve the flow of recruiters' job day in and day out? So that's how.
And I think also, I think it's a very good question, valid point. I think what I've seen with a large Dutch established firm here in the Netherlands is what they're trying to do is they're trying to see their internal pool, or basically get a better understanding, rapid understanding of their internal pool, so their talent, and how it can be utilized the right way. So this process enables them to quickly see, okay, we have these skills. Obviously, we exclude all the sensitive data side of things. So we don't incorporate LinkedIn. It's not even possible, I think, to a certain extent. But we look at, okay, this is our talent pool. Are we actually leveraging on our talent pool the way we should? I think this is a great solution to apply when it comes to these needs.
Yeah, indeed. Good. So we keep getting the inputs. Thanks everyone for the inputs. I think we have a question. Sure. So the activities that are performed on the screen are tapped in 3 different ways. So first is you get a screen-by-screen view in terms of what the employee has done. You get for example, red box around if you have clicked a particular button, what data did you enter? So all that input is available. Secondly, you get a step-by-step view. You clicked here, you did right-click, left-click, what data did you enter, you moved the screen, you opened a new application, all those steps get captured, kind of hotkeys. And then lastly, you get a Word document as well. So what we do is we leave the Word document of the recording with the client, so that whenever the client stops using VPD, they can still go back and essentially see that particular process recording again, and then understand the process, how it was done. So 3 inputs you usually get. Okay, moving on, right, so one more Menti. Interesting question for most of you, because usually you deal with these situations in your client that typically there is 3 different areas where lots of data processing happens, lots of data crunching happens, lots of data understanding happens, and that's these 3 areas, processing the digital or physical documents. N number of documents, and any organization you get, small, medium, large size, emails, customers requests, And then, of course, tickets and the internal requests, because, of course, the organization needs to perform efficiently. They need to take care of the employees. And this is the question for all of you. Where do you see your clients struggling to process this data efficiently? Where do you see the clients struggling to make the sense out of N number of information, Y number of documents, Z number of emails, and so on and so forth? Where do you see the challenge, or where do you see the struggle from the clients? Excellent. Yeah, that's also the usual response that we get from the client, and that's where we deep dive into our next solution: document automation. So document automation is our platform essentially that comprises of document automation, text analytics, OCR, NLP, clustering, classification, and you name it. What you see on the screen is all the documents, digital, physical, different screens and apps that are actually part from our projects. So these are these documents that you see on the screen. You see the mark sheets on the left, you see the ID cards, you see the tax form, you see the archives, you see the naming card, and so on and so forth. So these all documents are actually being processed as of today, day in and day out, by Accenture's solution called as document automation. Clients are struggling a lot for processing the data, making sense out of the data, which is in textual nature, and basically making sense out of it and using it and processing it for the business purposes. That's where we come up with this solution of document automation to process this data effectively. Structured, semi-structured, unstructured data that is being processed by our tool. And these are the challenges, right? So the clients are struggling with making the sense out of the data. They are not really able to process them within the SLAs. They are not really able to consolidate that. They are not really able to put it into system, and so on and so forth. So n number of challenge from the people on the ground that are processing this data. And that's where we think of this solution roughly 8 years ago. What it does is it just follows the basic principle of AI, right? It senses, comprehends, and it acts on it. And this is our platform built on basically, again, Python and multiple models where we are ingesting the data, which could be in the tickets form, which could be in the emails form, which could be in customer request form, documents, of course, and then essentially we are extracting the data through optical character recognition. That's again our own open source data, and then basically applying the NLP on top of that to make sure that we are processing the data in right way. And I'll talk about very concrete example that's very close to us, and you'll be also able to see the demos. The current project that we are doing is with the kind of semi-government organization, Arolsen Archives. What Arolsen Archive does, Arolsen is a place in Germany. What they have is the largest database in the world. That means the largest paper database in the world about the Nazi prosecutions, prison transfers, and death camp transfers during the World War II that happened in Germany and so on. We have the challenge to have that digitized documents by end of 2025, and this is a kind of pro bono project from Accenture where we are able to understand, extract, and comprehend the information from 70 years ago. So if I just go back to a few pages here, so you will be able to see some ID cards, for example, here. I don't know if we can read it as well, because these are different languages, different dialects that are existing from 70 years ago. But the tool itself is actually able to assist that because of the core capabilities that we have built, because of the language understanding, and because of of course the inbuilt machine learning model. But what's important here is the feedback from head of Arolsen Archives. What she mentions is they were able to essentially make a progress with our tool in 12 weeks that they couldn't do in 12 years, right? And I think this is really proud moment for Accenture as well, because we were actually able to connect with the grandchildren, great-grandchildren of the people that were affected in those world war around the globe, and that's where we really take pride on that we were able to give something back to the society. And of course, you'll be able to see more demos at the at the booth. So please welcome to join. And here's the next question. I think looking at the complexity of documents, invoices, ID cards, KYC documents, tax forms, do you think your clients are having such a powerful tool to process this automatically without having to bother people day in and day out to read the information, put it into some system, and so on and so forth? I think that's something we would really love to know and see where essentially we could potentially tap in. And most of the times we do get no response, but I think we have the brightest minds here, and then we would also like to learn more and see if you can help us to see what the market thinks, or what do you think. And those who say yes, I mean, would you mind sharing which type of technologies do you use, which kind of tools do you use? Are your clients? Yeah?
I'll be happy to share.
Sure.
So, hi. So, what I do is NLP for GDPR.
Yeah?
Now, and other legislative directions in the EU and worldwide. So, we do have our own models that cluster depending on modularity of the text, whether it's legal, whether it's free form, whether it's illegal, whatever. We first cluster them. We are able with our backend to both process pictures, PDFs, PPTX, relational data, structured data, what have you. And our purpose is a little bit different because we do personal data identification, but we are able to render it for these purposes also on our backend. So in the application, you can get the full document, you can navigate to find the different personal data. So yeah, we employ it for our customers as well as for our own purposes, for example, for the CVs that we have in our talent pool, etc. So I think it's really similar to what you employ. Maybe the premise is a little bit different because we are primarily interested in the data protection. And I have, maybe while you're waiting, the question, okay, so you're processing personal data on this, and in your analytics, you mount it on-prem at the client side,
Yeah.
and you process the personal data.
Yeah.
Do you have any concern about processing personal data, whether you are compliant? Is this something that you have thought of, or is this something that you are not actually a third party?
Sure. No, I think that's a fair question, and we do get question asked for almost all clients, right? Because processing personal information is important for our clients. What's most important for the clients is the location where the data is getting stored, because that's the primary concern. Secondly, where does this data exposed to, right? So our tool comes with the human in the loop capability, essentially, which we give not to Accenture, but we give back to their people. So their people are the ones that are going to see that, okay, if the card says Rohit, is it Rohit or Rojit, for example. So it's not that Accenture would be seeing that. The Accenture would be just providing the tooling, providing the models for processing the data, but human in the loop and the validation of PII is back to the client. That's where they get the comfort. That's where they get at ease and make sure that, okay, we are processing our own data. I don't have to worry about anything. And then, of course, we discuss architecture, the encryption, and so on and so forth. But that comes, yes. 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 Okay. Thank you. Excellent. So this is the value, right? So this is the value. Millions of savings, as I mentioned. The progress done in 12 weeks as compared to 12 years is a huge remark from the client, and we use that 2 to 3 times productivity, and then of course more than 99% of the accuracy is what we believe on, and then of course we'll be able to see more case studies and more demos, and we'll also have the possibility to play with our tool at the booth. So you're welcome to join, and please challenge us. I have my product team there talk about individual and specific minute topics around the product platform, and then we'd like to see what are your thoughts. Then when we go into the next front, which is the image automation, which Hamid touched a little bit. So here is the before we go there, this is the question for document automation for all of you. Again a kind of word cloud, where do you think such tool can be used by organization? What type of documents you would like to be processed by such a tool? What type of processes, what type of departments can really benefit from such tool? Because usually we work with invoices, tax forms, we work with HR data, CVs and stuff like that. But what's your thoughts? Where do you think this tool can be helpful to have the usage? So again, free text word cloud will appear. Yeah, government offices, excellent. Yes, so we are in discussion with one of the European ministries to have all the so it's a foreign ministry, to have all the passports, all the ID cards processed with our tool. It's going to be a three-year project. Again, hi mom. I wonder who's that. NGOs, excellent. I think that's one excellent input. We would love to see if we can work with the NGOs. Of course, we have Hamid, we have the senior management from Accenture who can actually tap into few NGOs and see if we can help them. Bureaucracy, excellent. I think we can definitely help government there. Third parties, police investigation, excellent. We are actually working with one of the global governmental organizations about child trafficking as well, to make sure that we are able to track them, we are able to identify some legal causes there, and yeah, R&D risk, excellent. Yeah, that's some nice ideas. Thank you. Thanks audience. Next area is about computer vision, and I'm just gonna check on the time. I think we are okay. Computer vision and the enabled machine learning. Where do you think that this particular technology is helping as of today? So, of course, Hamid shared one example around sustainability. So you can also click sustainability in a way. But where else do you think computer vision can be helpful and can essentially drive some of these initiatives for our organizations?
And struggling with that is something that is really personal. And many people experience that online. Very people actually know how to create their content, but everyone is expected to take part in this online community that is supposed to be an extension.
Yeah, so it's almost equally distributed now, and I think that's been our experience as well, that computer vision, image automation is actually helping with all the causes. And here are some examples, right? So what you see on the screen now is a set of imagery that can appear, for example, that's coming from open sources or internet, but it's actually from our projects, right? So on the right hand side is the project that Hamid mentioned, where we were able to deploy different 50 odd machine learning models on all the assets that utility had, and so on and so forth. So we'll come to the imagery again, but image automation and video analytics is the capability that we have around the processing of the images and making sense out of the imagery and the videos, right? Which is again getting tougher and tougher in these days, because the clients are getting a load of data and lots of images to make sense out of them, and then it's getting complex, it's getting really humanly impossible to process them on real time and making sense out of them. And that's where our solution comes in. That it's a lot of capex as well for many asset heavy industries. And what we do in here is any type of imagery that you receive, LiDAR, satellite, drone, mobile, high resolution, CCTV, and you name it. Those images are being processed as of today by for n number of our clients through our image automation platform, based on our pre-built model, based on our pre-built capabilities to basically make sense out of it. Most of the use cases around, asset inspection, quality inspection, where we are able to, make the sense out of the image that we have received and see if the asset is in good condition or not. And, for example, avoid a wildlife fire with this, or, avoid, damage of the resources, avoid the revenue leakage, and so on and so forth. So that's what we do. And I'll talk about concrete examples just now. So on the left-hand top, we see a particular example from a land registry in Europe, right? So that's where we talk about revenue generation. One of the land registry in one of the European countries, they came to us saying that they are not really able to make the sense out of the data that they have with the land registry records and then the actuals. So what we did is our solution took the data from satellite imagery. We mapped that data, we matched each house and the construction with the land registry records. For example, if the land registry record says 100 meters square, and in reality the house was built around 120 meters square. Somebody built a swimming pool, didn't really pay the charges and the fines that you need to give to the government, and then we identified that as well. So what we did, we identified 10 million euros worth of revenue for this particular land registry through our solution within, I think it was within 2 months. Now imagine the situation that the land registry needs to go to each house in their region and match that with the land registry records. And that's the power. That's the power, right? So they came to Accenture. We built the solution, and then this didn't exist. So our platform existed, but this use case didn't. And that's where the power comes from. That okay, you have the powerful platform that can actually turn the use cases into reality without having to have the use cases inbuilt for them. The middle one is kind of really close to my personal favorite, is around one of the solar panel installers in US. Yeah. What they had is, of course, there is n number of things happening, which is increasing the awareness about sustainability, green energy, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, that is essentially creating a huge demand. This huge demand is about usually for solar panels, because that's what common man can do, and that's what common man can do easily. And this particular solar panel company saw a rise in their requests that are incoming for building new solar panels. Now they don't have enough capacity. So they came to Accenture and said that, do you have something? So we said we don't have a ready solution, but we can, because we have the image automation platform that can analyze the satellite imagery. Whenever a customer request comes in for a solar panel installation, we just take the satellite imagery for that house structure. We understand the roof structure, we understand the slopes, we understand the measurements, we understand if there is any tree or any other structure that's blocking. And our tool is essentially creating solar panel design, which the company just creates and installs. What that is doing for them, 30 times faster speed, right? How this 30 times faster speed comes? Usually it used to take a month from the request that is coming, scheduling a meeting, climbing on the roof, making the measurements, and you name it. Sometimes people are not home, so our solar panel company people go there, come back empty-handed, and so on and so forth. This is happening now within hours. Within hours, you're having a new roof structure, so it's just a matter of now installation that solar panel. What's that doing also for the environment, right? So you're actually having things moving faster. You're installing the solar panels 2 months faster than they used to be before, and that's what we take proud on. That okay, we are also contributing to the environment in such way. And then there, of course, you see some car inspection or car seat quality inspection that is more manufacturing automotive use cases, where we are dealing with the parts, and then our image automation solution and the machine learning models, they essentially tell if the car seat quality is going to be accepted or not. And that's where you save a lot of supply chain costs and so on. So this is what image automation is doing. And then same question, do you think your clients are having such solution in place for dealing with the problems and questions and the issues around images, or not? Yeah, I think this is again one of the common responses that we get as well, that most of the clients do not have such solution in place, because of course there is little awareness, there is of course less number of skills also available in the market. So that's where again Accenture comes up with pre-built solutions where we can at least try and attempt to have the transformation speed up there. Thanks for that input. Again, these are some of the deliverable benefits that we have achieved so far. In terms of accuracy, in terms of CapEx savings, in terms of OpEx savings, in terms of accuracy improvement, efficiency improvement, productivity improvement, and so on. And then few use cases that Hamid mentioned, the land registry which I mentioned, and the solar panel installer, which of course, so all of these use cases, all of these demos, you'll be able to see on our booth. Today, you can also contact me directly. We can arrange a demo for you later, even though you're just interested to see, and so on and so forth. Last question for the day: where do you think that this particular capability can be useful? Because this is where we lack a little, to be honest. To be creative in image automation, we are not that creative yet. We don't really know what kind of problems could we solve with this technology, and we'd like to see what you think, or we'd like to see, again, hi mom. We'd like to see essentially where do you think we can improve.
Last half an hour I've been figuring out who this hi mom guy or lady is, but I can't figure out.
I think on the website, of course, to get this answer as well.
Content creation, interesting.
I'm just curious, how does Speechify help?
May I ask who says content creation would like to learn more? Yeah? Yeah?
Influencers just generated by an AI, publishing on social networks and creating engagements, so answering to comments in an automated way. And I think for some businesses it might be useful. It could be used for image creation.
Interesting. Really interesting thought. Thanks for sharing this. What he mentions is there are lots of companies that are getting the questions around images, right? So for example, my phone is broken, or my bottle is broken, my plate is broken from the customer service center, and then that's what he's thinking, that this could be answered by image automation, which is excellent thought process. Thanks for sharing. Okay, predictive healthcare, excellent.
Wow, that's a good one.
Security, yes, we do have some security projects around this. Shopping experience, yes, I think we are trying to work on a shopping experience in terms of, we have a couple of projects in France where we understand the layout and we understand the client behavior, and we try to rearrange the products, so we have some recommendations there. Disaster control, yes. If you come to Accenture booth, we'll be able to show you one disaster recovery case as well, where this solution helped the government to understand which areas, which houses were affected the most with the particular disaster, and where the economical focus should be. So we'd love to learn more, and we are especially happy that we are thinking in the same direction. Transportation, excellent. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for this. I think some excellent inputs for us today, some excellent insights as well about process discovery and document automation, if those things exist for you, for your clients and you guys. So really appreciate. And this is sales slide again, but we'd love to really learn from you guys. We'd really love to see your thoughts. So please come and visit our booth. We can also connect on LinkedIn. My name is Rohit. His name is Hamid, and we'd like to really stay in touch with you, all of you, and see if and how we can collaborate in the coming days. It doesn't really matter if you're a student or the client or a competitor, I don't know.
I know you already said that, but I just want to reiterate, guys, really special thanks for your attention, for your attendance. We have our stand. We also have with us our senior MD who looks after the applied intelligence offering. He's in the room with the blue sweater, Martijn van der Meijden. Feel free to reach out to him to talk about anything regarding applied intelligence offerings or our solutions.ai products. And just want to thank you.
Thanks for being attentive.